before we had iPhones and iPads and this, that, and the other, we had these paper book things, books that are made out of paper. And when you went to toy shows, you might have had a need for a checklist. Now, when I was before I got this book, I call this my action figure Bible, basically. Before people get offended over the religious use of a Bible, I didn't say the Holy Bible. That's a different thing. The word Bible in and of itself means a collection of books, or in more social terms, it means the end all. The end, not the end of the world. More like it's like, well, I think this. Well, I think that. Well, the Bible says. Well, end of story. You can't argue with that. That's what it means. Kind of like come to Jesus meeting kind of thing. But anyway, back to this. So this became my things, and it was a pretty good size. I wore camouflage pants, so I'd stick it down in my pocket of one of those when I was carrying it. So it became kind of a checklist for me, so I can go through and see, well, okay, does it have all this? Does it have that? Yeah, and I mean, I used it for a long time. And before that, like I said, I used 3x5 cards. But with 3x5 cards, you don't have pictures. And at least has pictures, and it's not concise. It's not perfect. It goes to certain years. And I really got to start wearing my glasses when I do this stuff. But it only goes to a certain year. So unfortunately, if you're trying to find new stuff, which I don't, when you go to toy shows, you don't look for new stuff. I mean, I don't. You may. I don't. And I haven't been to a toy show since before the pandemic. I don't even know if they still go on anymore. I just have no clue. I've been so busy down here taking care of my dad and everything. So let's take a quick look at it. We're not going to look at everything in it. We're just going to flip through and see the more obscure stuff that's what I really want, is more obscure stuff. So let me see if I should lay it flat or just pull this up. Because most of the pictures are at the top and most of the text is at the bottom. So if I have a figure, I'll like put purple on it. Or put like a little circle and then put an X in it. Like if the circle means I want it. Like I can't see with my eyes right now, but I definitely want her. And I don't think I have her. So Scarlet, the Ninja Force Scarlet, I definitely want. Like him, I definitely remember I bought him. So I got, see, I had him. I don't know if I do now. I'm still trying to find everything and start marking it off on the computer. It's like an end all thing. So at the time of me having this book and not getting rid of anything, I definitely had the ones in purple. Which that Storm Shadow is one of my favorite Storm Shadows, and it's a good version of him. That Scarlet, it's a weird one. It has like, isn't that got real hair? I think it's what I remember. I didn't like the hair. And that was the Ninja Force, but they don't have a Zartan picture here because he's over here. I definitely have Zartan. I still have him. That's one of my favorite Zartans. It's not the original Zartan's my favorite, but I just thought that was so cool. He had a mohawk. So, oh, I love these guys right here. I think I had this guy one time. So that's just a few things. Like it has G.I. Joe from the 90s. So it would be a good way to find out what year it was published by going to the end of G.I. Joe. Because, they had G.I. Joe, which was G.I. Joe Extreme. They had the 1995 year for them. So that's probably where it ended, because I think G.I. Joe kept on going forever, didn't it? Then we have the Gargoyles, which is an excellent line. They're making the new Gargoyles, which I see them. I'm going, I'm not spending $40 for a figure. I technically already have, so I don't really... I like the original figures. The new ones, I was going through that phase where I wanted to update. After Masters of the Universe Classics, I'm done. I don't want anything modernized of the originals. The Origins, they're fine because they can fill in the gaps, and they can also be an excellent... version of the ones you probably had and they got broken because those rubber band bodies. But there's nothing wrong with these. I mean, they're just great like they are. So I don't really want the modern versions of these. The classics, I was so inspired by and gotten into those, and then I just got burned out because, number one, I'm paying way too much for figures that I don't care about just to get the ones I do care about. Another thing, they're not in scale with anything else. So I had to keep buying all the stuff I already had. It was just annoying. So the Master Universe, if I could go back and undo buying classics, there's a few classics I buy and that's it. The rest of them, I'm like, I don't need them. So I would definitely not get this membership thing. And people go, well, then you wouldn't get it for a cheap price. Let's be honest. After paying $37 for that one figure, I think his name was Traptra, that just burned me out right there. Because I was like, I don't want this figure. Paying $37 for it. So buying something secondhand on eBay from another person who is getting 2 or 3 memberships didn't seem that bad after all. All right, Ghostbusters. I never really got into Ghostbusters. I know a lot of people did. They're neat. They're fun. I did have a few of these back in the day. Let's see, what's something really obscure? Oh, they got a lot of Star Trek stuff, which is great. Star Trek would be another one to find out where it ended, because I'm pretty sure this is a 90s book. Here we go. So Star Trek. See, but then Star Trek did kind of end around that period of 1997-ish. See, I had this figure. I have the head of him. He's over on my lampstand, actually. And I have the dog. Unfortunately, the figure broke. He's in my box of broken figures, but I tried to fix this as a kid. See, this is a great resource for the Star Wars figures. It's got both. I had the blonde version of him. I didn't know there was a sandy blonde version. I had the smaller head of Han Solo, not the big head. I had both versions of the Jawas. So, you know, it gives you an idea of, like, if you're trying to collect, oh, it does come in variations. Of course, they need to make one of him. I say that every time I do a video with anything showing him. Oh, we got Tailspin. Like I said, this is just a fun book to just sit down and look at it. I mean, I can look at this for hours, but, I mean, it's a really good book. I mean, of course, we got the internet nowadays. But the thing about the internet is you look for things that you know, but you don't just get to browse. I guess you can browse through it. I mean, sometimes I'll browse through eBay and going, I didn't know that existed. But it just gives you a more, I don't know. I don't like to sit in front of a computer. I like to sit out on the back porch in a chair and just browse through on a nice sunny day during the spring, not in summer because when it's all buggy. Let's go back to the front. Oh, I just saw something. Oh, there we go. The Legend of the Lone Ranger. I never had any of those, but they look interesting. The Last Action Hero. I didn't even see. That's another one. It's like I didn't know they made figures of that. Oh, let's go to Indiana Jones real quick. I want to see what they actually made of Indiana Jones. Because I got, when they started making them again about 20 years ago, I finally got an Indiana Jones figure. That's why these new 6-inch figures, no thanks. Would it be? It'd probably be under Raiders, I'm thinking, because it says Independence. All right, so let's go to Raiders Lost Ark. Maybe it's under that. Oh, RoboCop. What am I saying? RoboCop. Robin Hood. I really want that figure right there. I got the NECA version, but I want the original. I don't want something fancy. I want the original. So what was I looking for? Raiders. Real. Fake. Oh, here we go. Raiders. So here's the Raiders of the Lost Ark. Now, on my birthday, I went to Target up near my mom, and they had this figure, and this figure, I think, but they did not have indies. I was like, oh, well. I think Short Round's another one that they have. I haven't seen them anywhere else. Our stores don't have them. I think my light's starting to flicker. And I want that playset. That's cool. But I got the newer version of that. It's about the same size, I guess. So I'm fine. I'm good with that figure. I just wanted to see what they look like. Is there anything else that we want to see while we're here? Oh, the New Adventures of He-Man. Oh, love this line. I hated the cartoon, but I also hated the original cartoon until I actually watched it on YouTube. And oh, it's such a good cartoon. I remember when these came out, I thought they were interesting because I saw them at Kiwi Toys, but I'm like, what are they? I'm like, is there a cartoon for the Trendmaster Godzilla's figures? Like, it was a great way to get these figures, but who are these humans? Are they in some cartoon? That's what I want to know. That's a good question. I need to look it up. So why do I have a paper towel in here? What is it? Bookmarking. It's bookmarking masters. It's going to now bookmark this. I'm going to check this out when I get in there. See, then you can go and find out, like, was there a 1994 cartoon for Godzilla? I don't know. I don't remember anything about it. And I know Godzilla pretty well. Ghost Rider. I wonder if they should fight Ghostbusters. Oh, G.I. Joe. Such a great line. Let's see. Oh my gosh, yes, I had some of these, and my cousin had even more. Of course, he was rich. I always wanted the Lizard Woman. There's more than this, I thought. And sometimes there's like, oh, I definitely got into this line because that looked like me at the time, back at then. And I was working at the summer camp at the YMCA. This looked like my co-counselor, Stacy. And I was like, and I remember telling the kids, they made action figures of me and Stacy. And I showed them, they go, no way. Oh, anyway. So sometimes if there's extra figures that are not showed up, like the rocket ship, they put them down here. There's just numbers for the ones they have in pictures. And like right here, there's 3 things that are not pictured in this picture. Or the pictures they provide. So even then, it's got a little bit more. Demolition Man had a toy line? Huh. All right, Darkwing Duck, I have this one. And it doesn't show his gun, unfortunately. But he definitely comes with a gas gun. Oh, Cops. It's crime fighting time. That was a great cartoon and toy line. All right. Yeah, I definitely had Perseus. I had Calabac, but his tail broke off on him. I wanted Kyrian. I kept thinking I had it because I played with it so much at my cousin's. I wanted Kyrian so bad, but oh well. I think my mom wouldn't get it for me because it was a skull face and she was afraid of it. Yeah, she had to get over that when I got Skeletor, I guess. Oh, and the Batman line. Look at this. I want that right there. That right there. I don't want the modern stuff. I want this. I want the original. Oh, yeah. And see, I had the lighter color one of these. I had Lucifer. I had the Ovarian, or whatever his name is, Oberon, or whatever you want to call him. Maybe that's Oberon. I don't know. That's the bug guy. I had him. The humans, I never had the humans. I had the Cylon, the silver one. I didn't have the golden one. I didn't want him because he looked ugly. I didn't want him. He's a human. I had him, but I hated him. After he took off that cloak, he looked stupid. It's like, why didn't they just mold some clothes onto me? If you take this cloak off him, seriously, he's naked underneath. That was the weirdest thing in the world. The Beetleborgs, awesome line. Oh, Bionic 6. See, this is one line I want to complete. I have, especially the family. Maybe not the bad guys, but I want the complete family. Back then, I didn't have any of them, evidently, or I didn't mark them. But I want them all. And I do want Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure figures. At one time, I had Bill and Ted. Sadly, I don't think I have them anymore. But look at that. They have Genghis Khan playing the drums. That's so funny. Billy the Kid on guitar. We got... Oh, this would be such a fun line to have. Oh, man. That's a line I would... You know what? I bet nobody wants this line. I bet I can get it pretty cheap on eBay. Oh, well. Christmas is only, what, 6 months away? Yeah, okay. Dream on. But it's nice to dream. It's nice to have dreams. Nice to have goals. Oh, the Alien figures. I remember when this came out, I had to have Scorpion Alien because he looks so much like the original. It was there was only one Alien at that time, I think, when they first came out. Oh, man, they made Aladdin figures? I mean, I have the Aladdin Imaginext or whatever they're called. Not Imaginext. The game, the video game figures. And some little non-posable figures. Oh, this is cool. I need bookmarks. I need bookmarks. Oh my gosh, there's so much to look at. It's like you keep forgetting about it because you don't have it in hand. But that's this book right here. Highly recommend you get it, even if there's such a thing called the internet, because you just go through and you're like, oh wow. It's just, I can't explain it. I mean, if you're too young to appreciate having a book in your hands, get off my channel. Seriously. We old people, this is us. This is what I just enjoy this a lot. I know the internet released a lot of this fun, but there's something I can't quite explain about just having a book in your hand and looking through in it and speaking English. It's just mesmerizing. All right, I'm gonna go and now I'm gonna look up Bill and Ted. These things I'm gonna look up to see if there was a cartoon, just to see. I don't really care about the figures. Are pretty cool. I swear I had one of these. That could have been an Iron Man figure. It could have been like, oh no, that's an Iron Man figure I have. Now I want to see if they have any Bill and Ted figures, and if I can get like all the Bill and Ted figures for $1 each, I think I can, sacrifice. These are what I want, but I mean, when I did look on eBay, they're like 25 bucks each. Yeah, I know. One day I'll find them. One day. We all have a fantastic day, and dream big. See you guys later.